Hello everybody, my name is Michael. Welcome back to my channel, and in today's video we are going to be taking an updated look at how it's been going with paying off my student loans that I have accumulated over 6 years of achieving my master's degree in occupational therapy. With this video being the first student loan update for 2022, I would like to take a brief moment and bring you all up to speed on the current state of my loans. As many of you have probably already heard, the government loans deferment has now been pushed back to the beginning of May of this year, 2022. And for me, and I'm sure many others, that is a pretty good thing to happen. The reason why this is such a great opportunity for me is that instead of now having to pay off two different sets of loans, one being a private loan and one being a government loan, I can now take anything that I would have put towards a government loan and now designate it towards my private student loans, which by the way are still due and are still gathering interest every week. So these government loans are supposed to become due by the beginning of May of this year. However, if you ask me, if I was a betting man, which I'm not, if I have any extra money, it's probably going to go towards investing or paying off my student loans. But if you ask me, without getting too political, I think that this is probably not going to be the end of the government student loan deferment for this year. I just have a feeling that's going to get pushed back again. However, I'm going to plan that May 2022 is the last extension of the deferment. And if I have done my math correctly, I should be very close to having my private student loans paid off by that time, which is very exciting news. This month, I have made a pretty sizable contribution towards my one remaining Sallie Mae loan account. I started off this journey with 4 different Sallie Mae loan accounts, and I am now down to just one. Here I am, about 3 years being out of school, working in the field that I got my degree in, and I am very close to at least having my private student loans paid off. I will say this month I did make a small mistake when it comes to my contributions. You'll see that here in just a moment once I switch over to my student loan debt tracker spreadsheet that I'll pop up here on the screen in just a second. So stay tuned, you're gonna follow me along as I punch in my numbers. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so as you guys can see, I have changed my formatting a little bit. I've added some pretty cool emojis, at least I think they're pretty cool. I will go through and explain why I chose each emoji for each section as we get through it. But first off, I want to hear from you guys. Do you like my new setup? Do you like the new kind of formatting I've done here? Obviously, you can see I'm no longer taking up half the screen. I'm just a little bubble up here in the top right hand corner. I like it. It feels a little bit more clean and more minimalistic. But I would like to hear from you guys what you think of this new kind of format to the video and the stylizing of the editing that I'm doing. I think I just used way too many words there. But anyway, tell me what you guys think down in the comments for this new style that I'm doing with these videos. So the first thing we need to tackle in this video is how much have I contributed this month towards my student loans. And as you guys know, I typically make 2 separate payments throughout the month towards my student loans, usually one on the 10th, and then usually one the day that I am done budgeting for the month. Once I have completed out my budget and finalized it, then I am able to see how much extra money I have left over in the budget, which then goes right towards paying off my student loans, because it is the biggest, well, other than my house and the mortgage, it is the biggest liability that I have right now. And it also has interest, which is going against me, and so I want to get rid of these student loans as fast as possible. This month I made 2 separate payments, one on the 10th of January and one on the 24th. Now I messed up slightly because, as I have been telling you guys on this channel, usually on the 10th of the month I put around $800 towards my student loans as a minimum amount. In fact, in my budgeting video that I posted this month, I said that's what I was doing. However, I made a little mistake in that I've been having my student loans on a auto payment kind of transaction. And when I finished paying off my Sallie Mae loan number 1, this one right here that I'm going to talk about in a second, when I finished paying that one off, I kind of forgot that around $600 of that $800 automatic transaction was going towards that loan. So only $200 was actually being drawn from my bank account on the 10th to go towards Sallie Mae loan number 2, which is the only Sallie Mae loan we have left. With that being said, on the 10th, only $200 was actually contributed towards that loan. But I did go back, and on the 24th, I then contributed $1,500 towards that loan as well, rounding everything up, if I've done my math correctly, which I'm pretty sure I have, to around $1,700 in total payment this month. But just hang on a moment, because as you guys know, there is interest tacked on, so not that full amount is going towards the principal on the loans. So let's go ahead and start punching in some numbers, shall we? But first, let's just take a look here quickly at Sallie Mae loan number 1. As you can see, I put the little check emoji because it is done. We're in the green there. It's gone, which is great. And then down here with Sallie Mae loan number 2, or the only Sallie Mae loan I have left, this emoji, believe it or not, is supposed to be a guy holding a stick of dynamite, I think. But here it looks like he's a welder. On my phone, it looked like he was holding a stick of dynamite. And I'm like, that's cool, because he's blowing up the loan. You know what I mean? That's what I've been talking about on here, demolishing my student loans. But here it just looks like he might be a welder. Now that I say all this stuff out loud, I think also on the phone it was a welder, because he did have one of those special hats on. I don't know why I thought he was part of the bomb squad with some dynamite in his hand. Anyway, in my mind, it's dynamite. I might have to fix that. As you can see, I put 2 X's down here for the federal loans because they are in deferment, which means that no interest is being gathered and they're not due. So everything is going towards Sallie Mae at this time. So Sallie Mae loan number 2, we are going to update that with the current amount that is still due on the loan. As you can see, at the time of last filming, I was just over $11,000 on this Sallie Mae loan account. However, with my new contributions of around $1,700 this month, we are now down to $9,684 and 47 cents. Pretty big change there, if I do say so myself, in 1 month for one loan. I like it, I love it, and I want some more of it. As you guys can also see, we have dropped my total student loan debt down to $81,000, just over $81,000 right there, $91.62 we have left. What we are then going to do is we're going to take this number, this 81,000, and drop it down in this slot right here. As you can see, this graph is my student debt by month in total. I began tracking in March of 2021. However, I've been paying off my student loans probably since, I think it's like 2018, towards the end of 2018, 2019, the beginning of 2019. Not sure exactly when it was off the top of my head, but I think it was late 2018. But I started tracking it 2021 in March, which this is the amount that was due right there, $104,000. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this new total student debt amount of the $81,000 and pop it down here. So let's do that, shall we? And $91.62. And let me fix the font real quick because it's supposed to be size 12. Boom. Drawing your attention to this box right here, the monthly change for the month of January. As you guys may have remembered, I just said I put $1,700 towards it this month, but it only shows that there's been a change of $1,653. Well, that's because about $53.91 was eaten up by interest. I don't think the math comes out quite right on there. I think I missed somewhere in there an interest amount that was deducted from my payment. But I tried to look at the Sallie Mae statement to see where the interest was drawn from, and that's what it said. It said 53 bucks, just over or just under 54 bucks was taken this month from interest from my payments. The other thing I want to show you guys that I added was this last line down here, this total change line. And what I have done is basically, see if I can, maybe you guys are smart enough to see up here if you're used to using a Google Sheet or an Excel spreadsheet. You know you can use formulas. And so this box right here is this number from when I started tracking back in March of 2021. This number subtracted from here, January of 2022, which shows you the difference of how much I have contributed over the course of almost a year now of tracking my student loan debt. So we will see by March of 2022, which is just 2 months away, where I am at with the total change over the course of my student loan debt update tracking for a full year, which will be really cool to see how much progress I made. Last thing I want to draw your attention to is this bar graph I have set up here. I changed the color a little bit. I'm not sure what it looks like to you guys. I thought it was purple, but now it looks dark blue to me. But as you can see, we are still having a nice progressive descent. And descension is great. This descending bar graph is awesome to look at because this means it's trending in the right direction. These numbers right here are debt, not assets, not money in the bank, not good. And it is an exciting thing to see these bars drop down to hopefully one day we hit 0. I'm not sure quite when that will be. I'm assuming in probably about 2 years. Granted, I think it's going to go a little bit quicker once I have this extra side hustle income, which I've talked about in my last video with the budgeting. So stay tuned for that. We are going to be seeing hopefully some bigger contributions each month. And when I say bigger, I mean probably around $400 to $500 extra than I have been paying. So that'll be great to see how all that stuff transpires. Next month might be a little bit lower than the 400 to 500, but I'm assuming February and beyond will be right in that kind of area of extra on top of, you guys can see the averages that I've here. This month was actually a relatively low month with the 1600, but normally we're shooting up into that 22, 23 range. This month was kind of a fluke because I had not tracked it for 2 months. So the $7,500 here is not normal. But it will be nice to see an extra $500 be able to be contributed towards my student loan debts each month on top of the extra money that I put towards it after I'm done budgeting. So there you have it, my student loan debt wrap up for January of 2022. This month has been pretty smooth, I would say. I've had some nice paychecks come in. Go check out my budgeting videos if you want to see how I budgeted my income this month with a little bit extra income than I've been getting and have been used to over the past few months. It's nice to see that income column climb up, and when it climbs up, that means I can contribute more towards this stuff right here, my student loan debt. And the plan for these videos is I would like to next month, stay tuned. I'm hoping you guys can keep me accountable to this, but next month I want to start doing, in addition to videos where I'm showing you guys transferring money to my student loan debts, I want to also show in maybe the same video or in a different video how I'm doing with my investing, because it would be nice to start growing my wealth at both ends, both with depleting my liabilities and with growing my assets. So stay tuned next month. That is the plan, to maybe in these student loan debt videos also start including some asset growth as well. we'll see what happens. Thank you guys so much for watching this video until the very end. I really appreciate your guys' views, your likes, your subscription to this channel. It means a lot to me. I love it when you comment and tell me encouraging things. Tell me how this month has gone for you with your finances and paying off your student loan debts or your mortgage debt, car debt, whatever you got, credit card debt. It's good to hear that I'm alongside and doing this journey with other like-minded people who want to get financially independent and be financially free someday. So thank you guys so much for watching, and take care.